No land, no vote. That's the warning from the community of Swaneville in Krugersdorp. They've delivered a memorandum of demands to the Mogale City officials. Now, residents are demanding that vacant land be returned to them. They've urged national government and the president to intervene in their housing crisis. Earlier, police fired rubber bullets to disperse the disgruntled crowd. Lindokuhle Xulu is monitoring developments for us. He joins us now live. So, Lindo, take us through this memorandum.
Well, the memorandum, Shahan, basically demands land. They are saying that many of the people in Swaneville are actually living on back rooms, and they're saying that there's a land that is vacant near them that has been vacant since 2005, when ABSA was had apparently bought that particular land, ABSA being the bank, Shahan. But I can tell you that the residents have been up in arms throughout the morning, early in the morning, and up to thus far. I can tell you now that it has since died down a bit with those back and forth confrontations between them and the police. And what has happened was, earlier on we witnessed the handing over of the memorandum of demands from the residents, from some of their leaders, to the MC of public safety here in Mogale City. And she has promised both the residents as well as us that we're bearing witness to that handover of the memorandum, that in fact she will be delivering it directly to the executive mayor of this particular municipality, and therefore they will only respond afterwards. But let's take a listen to those that we've engaged with throughout the day, who told us about some of the demands that this community was making to the Mogale City, with some of the demonstrations that we've been seeing throughout the day.
The memorandum of the identified land in Red Valley Extension 23. Okay, since 2005, the land was promised to the community of Red Valley Extension 23. Since the development has not been done as backyard dwellers and children of Red Valley, we demand the land to be given to us as develop it. As we have been asking the Department of Settlement to give us the land to occupy it. Bullet number 1, the Constitution states that if the land has not been developed within 5 years, the land go back to municipal and the community around. So as beneficiary of the land, we demand to occupy the land in 24 hours and do not see red ants, and we don't want to see the red ants on the land. Okay? Housing. Everyone has the right to have access to adequate housing. The state must take reasonable legislative and other measures within its available resources to achieve the progressive realization of these rights. No one may be evicted from their house or have their home demolished without order of court made after considering all the relevant circumstances. No legislation must have no land, no vote.
Linda, of course, we saw clashes between police and residents earlier. What are officers doing now to monitor the situation?
Well, the residents have calmed down. We saw just a couple of minutes ago the stoppage of the drone stowing that we saw throughout the day. But I can tell you that with those clashes between the residents and the police, there were some arrests that were made since the early hours of the morning. And that's where I want us to bring in Shahan, Captain K. Makubela, to just give us a sense of what has been happening throughout the day. There were protests here, Captain K, and in fact back and forth clashes with the police as well as the residents. But just give us a sense of what this has amounted to in terms of the arrest that you've made.
Yeah, well, we have seen an arrest situation here where we managed to arrest about 9 suspects now for public violence, and the police have been deployed to monitor the situation. They have been throwing stones to the police and the motorists, and the police have been using rubber bullets and stun grenades to push them back to their residential areas. But still, they are still resisting. However, we will continue to be here until we restore law and order.
The manner in which restoring this law and order has been happening with the dispatching of rubber bullets, with the tear gas as well, no one was reported to have been in fact injured at this stage in terms of the community members. But of course, at an earlier stage in the year, we had those questions around the use of rubber bullets and all of that. But here, it seemed that there was clear instruction in terms of how they were using it. But I don't know if you can just give us a sense of some of the instructions or some of the strategies that were employed here to ensure that no one gets injured, as we've seen in many other protests that it has even amounted to fatalities at some point.
Yeah, as we can see, the people who are in front, they are the public order police, and those leaders who are conducting the protest, and then they are engaging with the leaders from the police side, and that's why you see that when we approach them, they do approach them professionally as they are trained. So that's why you can see that even if somebody can get injured, it will be the issue of that particular person is pushing or is coming towards the police. But if they remain where they are, there's nobody who will be injured.
All right, thank you so much, Captain K. Makubela, giving us the latest in terms of the number of arrests, Shahan. But as I asked my colleague to just move with me here, the issue here that is at play is the issue of this particular land that we understand is the one that residents wanted to occupy. At some point they did try to occupy it, but unfortunately the landowner reacted to that and in fact evicted some of them. What we understand is that this land is owned by APSA and not the municipality, but it was given to APSA to develop this particular area. In a conversation we've had with a telephonic conversation with the MMC of housing in this particular municipality, what we understand is that this is earmarked for development from APSA. So there will be some houses that will be built, and with the use of the list of people that had applied for land, they will be put here. But also APSA intends to have bond houses here as well, so that those who can afford can also buy. So that's the latest information we have at this stage, Sahan.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Lindokuhle Xulu in Krugersdorp. Meanwhile, Mogale City says it never promised to hand over vacant land to the community. The city says it has plans to develop the land.
Other communities saying that they've been promised the land and the houses 2005. It is not true, because the community, we've been updating them about the plans of the municipality. Around about March this year, this community, they've tried to invade the land that is just next to us again. This land, the provincial government and the municipality already have a plan working together with the APSA Bank that they are going to develop this area. We have started at Chief Mogale, because Chief Mogale is going to end here where they wanted to take that land. So they are aware that this land belongs to the municipality working together with the bank. So we didn't allow them to take that land illegally. So even the bank came, they've sent a representative. They've got a meeting with them several times that this land, you cannot take it illegally because we've got the plans around it. Our community, they normally say they don't have money. It is because they've paid some 400 rand to occupy the land from some people. Whenever those leaders, they organize that, if they don't have, they can't deliver. Now they started resorting to the toy. What is happening here, for me, is not because of the municipality never listened to them, or municipality doesn't have a plans. Municipality has got the plans together with the provincial government on how they are going to deliver the houses moving forward.